Redistributions.
Within state and territory borders, Australia is divided into geographic areas called electorates, electoral divisions or seats. The people in each electorate elect one person to represent them in the House of Representatives, where government is formed. Each electorate has an equal number of electors or voters within a given tolerance level. As our population changes, a process called redistribution takes place to ensure the number of electors in each electorate remains equal.
A redistribution is a redrawing of geographic boundaries of an electorate to ensure each state and territory has representation in the House of Representatives in proportion to their population, and that there are a similar number of electors in each electorate within a state or territory.
Redistributions are an important part of representative democracy. Ensuring each electorate has an equal number of electors supports equal representation in the House of Representatives, a principle known as one vote, one value.
The process for redistributions is set out in law in both the Australian Constitution and the Commonwealth Electoral Act 1918. Section 24 of the Australian Constitution says the following: "The number of members of the House of Representatives will be, as near as possible, twice the number of senators. The number of members chosen by the states will be determined by a quota. This quota is calculated by dividing the population of the 6 states by twice the number of senators, and then dividing the number of people in the states by the quota. Each of the states has a minimum of 5 members, regardless of population. Because of this rule, Tasmanian electorates have smaller number of electors than other states."
A redistribution is required under the Commonwealth Electoral Act 1918 when the population in a state or territory changes by so much that the state or territory is entitled to more or fewer members in the House of Representatives. The number of electors within 1/3 of the electorate differs from the average enrolment by over 10%. It has been 7 years since the last redistribution. The last is the most common reason for a redistribution.
In Australia, the redistribution process is undertaken independently of the government, parliament, and political parties. This ensures that the process is, and is seen to be, transparent and fair. At all stages in a redistribution, public feedback and consultation is sought and welcomed.
Here's how redistribution works. Step 1. The Electoral Commissioner uses Australia's official population to determine the number of members in the House of Representatives and the number of electorates each state is entitled to. If necessary, the Electoral Commissioner directs that a redistribution takes place. Step 2. A redistribution committee is appointed. Step 3. The Electoral Commissioner invites interested people and organisations to submit suggestions for the redistribution. These submissions are made available to the public for feedback. Step 4. The Redistribution Committee proposes redistribution with maps showing the new boundaries and names of the electorates. These are made available for public inspection. Step 5. People have 4 weeks to lodge written objections to the proposal and 2 more weeks for comments on objections. Step 6. An expanded group called the Augmented Electoral Commission is formed. Step 7. The Augmented Electoral Commission considers public objections and decides on final boundaries and names. Step 8. The final report is tabled in both Houses of Parliament. For the purposes of electing members into the House of Representatives, the changes do not come into effect until the next federal election. When proposing new boundaries, the Redistribution Committee considers many things, such as current and projected population, communities of interest, for example local government areas, rural versus urban communities, and ethnic and cultural communities, major roads, and physical features such as rivers or mountains.
A set of guidelines for naming federal electorates in the redistribution process was created to include naming them after deceased Australians who have rendered outstanding service to their country, such as former Prime Ministers, original electorate names from Federation, and names of Indigenous leaders and Indigenous places.